Are you planning to move to Suffolk, Virginia? Maybe you're getting stationed at Naval Station Norfolk or Oceana, and Suffolk is one of your considerations for a place to live. If you are, stay tuned. I'm going to go over the pros and cons of living in Suffolk, Virginia right now. What's going on? My name is Jason Edwards. I'm a local realtor here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. If you're looking for a channel that goes over what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play, find all the activities, and buy real estate anywhere in the Hampton Roads area or Northeast North Carolina, then like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell, because I'll be uploading a new video every single week about what it's like to live here in Hampton Roads. I'm getting calls and texts every single day, and I love it. So if you have questions or concerns about what it's like to live here in Hampton Roads, my contact information is below. Send me a text. Shoot me an email, give me a phone call, send me a message on Facebook, whatever you got to do to get a hold of me, because I'd be happy to help you with your move down here to Hampton Roads. So pros and cons of Suffolk, Virginia. I've got 4 pros and I've got 4 cons. This is coming from the experience of living here for the last 13 years, almost 14 years. I was active duty for most of that time. I just retired in 2020, so I've been civilian for the last 2 years also. That's, like I said, it's coming from experience. So let's get right into it. The first pro is the fact that it's huge. Suffolk is huge. It's actually the largest city in Virginia by land area. So it's got everything from rural areas, cotton farms are all over out here, homes with huge lots. But then you've also got a taste of suburbia. You've got the neighborhoods with smaller lots, but on average, I would say the lots here in Suffolk are probably a little bit bigger than some of the more urban areas, say, Norfolk, Portsmouth, things like that. Overall, you're gonna get probably a bigger lot. The second pro of living in Suffolk are the parks and outdoor activities. I covered a couple of the parks in one of my previous videos about 5 things to do in Suffolk. They've got parks like Lone Star Lakes Park, which is one of my favorite because there's a lot of fishing there. Bennett's Creek Park, same thing. But there are a lot of parks and a lot of things to do outdoors in Suffolk. And for me, for anybody who enjoys the outdoors, I would say that's one pretty big pro. The third pro about living in Suffolk is the traffic. That's one of the biggest reasons why I moved out here, and one of the biggest reasons why I'm glad I still live out here. I drive to Virginia Beach, I drive to Norfolk pretty consistently, and I just can't wait to get back out here to Suffolk because there is much less traffic. I will say over the last 13 years, it has gotten a little bit worse, especially one of the worst times is evening rush hour, but 58, the highway kind of coming from Chesapeake, Portsmouth this way. I live out near, not too far from downtown Suffolk, but there's a couple of areas in there where the traffic gets pretty congested, especially during rush hour. And if there's an accident or something, it gets real bad. But it's still not comparable to some of the other places in Hampton Roads. The fourth pro of living in Suffolk is housing costs. If you transplanted the same house from Suffolk to some of the areas in Chesapeake or Virginia Beach, you're going to be paying a considerable amount more there than you would out here in Suffolk, because it is a little bit further out from the cities, if you will, from a lot of the action. But at the same time, at least in my opinion, it's not that far. It's probably about, from where I am, not too far from downtown Suffolk, it's probably about 30 minutes to Greenbrier. If you want to go to the beach, yes, it's a little bit longer. You're looking at probably a 45-minute to an hour drive to go to the beach. As far as plenty of amenities, Harborview is in Suffolk. That's a little ways from down here. It's probably about 20 minutes, but there's plenty to do within driving distance. And like I said, you get more bang for your buck out here. Along with the 4 pros, I've got 4 cons also. One of the cons being, just like the first pro, it's huge. Especially when gas prices were up, that fact made it a little bit more painful. It's huge and it's out here a little ways. I was stationed on Naval Station Norfolk, So it was from my driveway to the front of my hangar was about 42 minutes, give or take, with no traffic. Of course, with traffic, it can be considerably longer because you're either going over a bridge or you're going through a tunnel. There's no two ways about it if you're trying to go to Naval Station Norfolk. So, and then, you know, for trying to get to Harbor View is 20 minutes from here. So just the fact that it's so spread out, so sprawled out, can also be a con. That leads me into my second con, the tolls. Although there are no tolls in Suffolk itself, in order to get to a lot of the rest of Hampton roads, you're either gonna drive further, like I said earlier, or you're gonna pay a toll. And it's just kind of, it's been something that I've just kind of gotten used to. I got the Easy Pass to cut down on the amount that I pay per toll, and I just kind of budget a little bit every month to pay for tolls. I don't pay a lot. Even when I was going, I was paying tolls, you know, twice a day, 5 days a week at least when I was still active duty. It wasn't horrible, but it is a budget or a expense that you have to budget for, or at least I did. The third con of Suffolk, unfortunately, is the public school system. They are not the best rated in the area. There are definitely areas that have much better ratings. I can't tell you whether a school is good or bad, but you can look at ratings on different websites like greatschools.org I like, or niche.com. I'll link those below so you can do your own research. Overall, the ratings of the schools here in Suffolk of the public schools are not the best. There is, however, a private school here in Suffolk that's one of the highest rated in the area. So it depends on what's important to you. Again, I live in Suffolk, I have children, but it's what's important to you. The fourth con of living in Suffolk is the lack of amenities. There's not as much shopping, there's not as many restaurants as, say, in Chesapeake or Virginia Beach or Norfolk. Pretty much all of them. Amenities are still lacking out here. There are quite a few in the Harbor View area, and that's growing continuously, and I believe it's going to continue to grow. So we're going to get more stores, more restaurants, and like I said, you know, Greenbrier, which has a plethora of stores and restaurants, is only about 30 minutes away. That's where I tend to go to do a lot of my shopping, or if that I'm not doing online, which that's one thing about today's day and age now. I mean, everybody does, a lot of people do their shopping online. I know I do. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but I know I do the vast majority of my shopping online, so that doesn't really bother me at all. But I do like to eat. I don't eat out a whole lot, but I like to eat out sometimes. And there are not a huge selection of restaurants, especially down here by where I live in the central Suffolk area. Like I said, there are some restaurants, and there's some really good ones, but the majority of them are up in northern Suffolk and the Harbor View area and thereabouts, and then Chesapeake. The lack of amenities is definitely a con. Thanks for checking out my video. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is below. If you're getting ready to move to the area, I've got an awesome buyer's guide. It's got, you know, it goes over the whole process from start to finish. It gives things to do, things not to do throughout the process, you know, things like buying a car or things like that could, you know, make you get declined for your mortgage. Obviously, you don't want to do that. If you got value from this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you want more videos like this, I'm going to be going over, you know, what it's like to live in Hampton Roads in all of the different cities. So I'm just getting started here. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a video. I'm going to be uploading new videos every single week. So if this is the kind of content you're looking for, please help me out. Hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. See you soon.